Welcome to the show. Welcome to Real Estate Radio with Damon Gettier of Damon Gettier and Associates Realtors, powered by Real. I am Brett Sharp. I always want to start by saying, is there anything new happening in your world with any of your businesses or with real estate? Anything exciting?
Selling houses.
Selling how? You still buying houses?
Still buying houses.
Did you buy any this week?
I don't know if we bought one yet this week. I know we bought one last week, but I don't know if we bought one yet.
And you'll buy pretty much anything.
Pretty much anything.
Okay. From cabins to castles, from 10,000 to a million, whatever it looks like.
Yep.
Okay.
One thing we won't buy, because we had 2 of these come in this week. I do not buy single-wide mobile homes in a mobile home park.
Oh, well,
because
is that a thing?
They're considered a vehicle. It's a car. It's a trailer. In a mobile home park. If it's on a piece of land, yeah, I'll buy it. But if it's in a mobile home park, we don't buy those.
Because that doesn't come with the parcel of land.
Doesn't come with the land, correct.
Gotcha. Okay, well, that's good to know.
Yep.
So moving from a longtime family home to your next chapter, and I know I can never remember the 6 or 7 things that the reason people move, but I have to think that this is one of them, whether that means shedding unused square footage or finally building that custom dream space. That next chapter is massive, and it's just as much an emotional transition as it is a financial and logical one. So for homeowners, Damon, between the ages of 40 and 80, the questions usually shift away from the standard starter home worries and focus heavily on long-term wealth preservation, lifestyle, and physical logistics. So for you, I've got some of the top critical questions homeowners and that stage of life are asking. So let's talk about the financial and timing logistics. Number 1, should I buy my next home first or sell my current home first?
That's pretty much a 100% financial question.
Okay.
And the reason it's a financial question is, can you afford to purchase a home without selling your home? If you can afford to purchase a home or build a home before you sell your home, it is a easier transaction for you. It's because all the moving isn't done in one day.
Yeah, there's no pressure.
There's no pressure.
Yeah.
And especially if you're building a house and is the house ready in time? It's not ready in time. The builder said it's going to be ready in July, but now it's going to be August. So now what am I going to do with closing? Am I going to live somewhere temporarily? So if you can afford to, purchase a house before you sell your house, that is a easier transaction for you, the homeowner.
And almost recommended just to take the pressure. If you own your home, that's an easy answer, I think.
You mean if you don't have a mortgage on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but some people don't want to have a mortgage once they move either, So it just depends. If you can afford it, financially, if you can afford it, is a much easier transition for you. Because everybody they go in a room and I can pack this room in 2 hours. And then 4 days later, they're still packing it, because there's just a lot more in a room than anybody thinks there is.
Always. Yeah. It's always more.
It happens. We deal with it every single week. It's like people are like, oh, I could be out tomorrow. And then, it's 12 o'clock at night and their hair's getting pulled out and they're screaming at everybody and everybody's mad at everybody else. And it's because it's just a lot more to do than you think there is.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was reading, just to kind of springboard from what you were saying, the catch-22. No one wants to get stuck paying 2 mortgages, but nobody wants to be homeless between closings either. Homeowners want to know how to leverage bridge loans, HELOCs, or post-closure leasebacks to make the transition seamless. I'm not sure. I know what a HELOC is, but what's a bridge loan and a post-closure leaseback? I don't even know what that is.
So bridge loan is just when you take a loan out. They loan you on the equity you have in one house so that you can buy another house.
Oh.
It just gets you over the bridge.
That's part of the Burr method, isn't it?
No.
Oh.
No. Totally different. But it just gets you over the bridge. It's funny because we go back from seeing a lot of them to seeing none of them to seeing them again. And so bridge loans are good. You have to have equity in the house. You have to have equity in the house. You have to have income. You have to have good credit. But, bridge loans are doable. HELOCs are doable. Post-close leasebacks, not a huge fan of. I prefer that when someone closes on a house, it's done and someone's not staying.
Ah, gotcha. Now I know.
So a post-close leaseback, and it's weird because some states are very, very popular. Post-close leaseback, take your house on AirPoint. You could have closed on it. The buyer owns it, but you're going to lease it for 60 days while your other house is getting ready or while you're moving to the other house.
So I'm not homeless.
You're not homeless. The problem is what happens when something goes wrong on your end. I own the house. I bought it. I'm the new owner, and you're supposed to move, and something goes wrong on your new house. It's got a septic issue. You didn't close because that owner, there was a bankruptcy. That owner didn't disclose, and so they can't buy, so they're not selling, and so you will be homeless now. So I need you out of my house.
Yeah. because it's not like you can just lease for another couple months because they want in their house.
They want in their house.
Yeah.
And so the problem with the lease back is if whoever's leasing it back, which is the previous owner, does not move out on time, your remedy is eviction because you're now a landlord.
Oh.
And eviction in the state
That's
of
awful.
Virginia is not easy, simple, or quick.
Yeah.
Or cheap. And then the other thing is if damage happens, like it's because it's all good when it's good. It's when it's bad that you have to worry about.
But isn't that just an imminent risk of something going wrong? I mean, if for months, if you've leased back for 2 months, I mean, there's a pretty good chance something can go wrong.
Yes. So Jay and I do it when we buy houses, but we're buying them with the intention of fixing them. And so we're buying them at a price that if they do damage, we can do the correct.
Yeah.
The problem is, just like you said, when you buy a house, it is a conglomerate of mechanical things.
Yep.
And anytime
Homeowners know that.
yeah, anytime something's mechanical, something will break. And so, you could do a home inspection, everything's fine, the oven's fine, and let's just say it's built-in oven because that's more expensive. Let's just make it worse. You got a built-in oven, that thing's worked fine, and then you close on it, and 3 weeks later, the oven doesn't work. Well, the person that sold it say, look, working when I sold it to you.
Yeah, as is.
And you're like, whoa, it was working when I closed on it, now it's not. You're the only ones used it. Like, who's going to fix that? And the problem is you can have every agreement in the world you want. It still comes down to what two parties are going to do to honor that agreement. And the remedy for that, if one of them does not honor the agreement, is, again, court. And court's not cheap.
Yeah.
So I prefer if you close on a house, it's your house, is what I
Yep. Yeah, my son called me this week and he said, yeah, Dad, my water heater went kaput. And I said, well, did it go kaput or was it just a heating element? Or he was like, the guy said the heating element was shot. And when I bought the house, they said it was a 2019, but it was actually a 2013. And I said, yeah, I don't think there's anything you can do about that. And I said, but did you change the heating element? And he goes, no, I bought a new one. And I said, how much that set you back? And he goes, $1,800. And I went, for a water heater? For a hot water heater? And he said, yeah. And I said, dude, we could have gone to Lowe's and I could have done that for you for $800. But he had to set up on a payment plan for that.
So I love and appreciate the plumbers out there.
Yeah.
But there is a lack of them right now. And in the last couple of years, some of them have recognized that.
Yeah.
And some of them are taking full advantage of that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. But I mean, the point of that is that stuff goes wrong, man. Stuff happens in the house.
I will say, though, if he called you and you called me, I'd have got him with my guy and it would have cost $1,900.
Oh, it would have?
Would not. No.
Oh, it would not have.
No.
Right. I know.
No.
Well, I mean, I could have done it. If you remember the lake house that you helped me get into, that little low boy water heater went bad. I called a guy and he was like, yeah, it's going to cost you $1,200. And I went, for that water heater? I bought one at Lowe's for $300 and did it myself and saved all that money. And he apologized later. And you know who it is.
I know who it is. I mean, that license does give you a premium, okay? Like, I understand. Sometimes that premium's taken advantage of.
Yeah. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
And I'll tell you something else. And this is unfortunate, but it's something that we see quite often. Quite often now we are seeing consumers get priced by what someone thinks they'll pay.
Oh, not what it's worth. Not what the job is worth.
Legitimately worth.
Yeah.
And that's a little unfortunate. And so, I always tell everybody, get a reputable person. But in this world today, what I'm seeing is you might want to get a couple prices because some of them were starkly different.
You would be an example of that. Luckily, you have your own people because you're in that business. But Damon Gettier, the #1 real estate agent for homes sold in Roanoke, Lynchburg, and the NRV, I'll bet they think that dude's rich. He can pay it.
So I'll give you an example. I won't use the name. I also won't use the plumber. But years ago, my neighbor who owns I live in a modest neighborhood. You know where I live. I live in a very modest neighborhood. My neighbor 2 doors down, he had money. He had money. Lots of it. And he does not live in a modest neighborhood anymore. But anyways, his sewer line backed up and he didn't have a clean out. And so this plumber's truck was out there and I called him up and I said, hey, what's going on? And he said, plumbing backed up and I don't have a clean out. So while he's here, I just told him to put a clean out. And I was like, you know what? I don't have a clean out either. I'm like, when he's done, have him come up here and do a clean out for me. And then I saw him leave and I asked my neighbor, I was called Justin. I said, hey, what happened? He said, well, I was going to send him up there, but he said, hey, I had my wrap truck at the time.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, don't tell him what I charged you because I can make some real money off of him.
Ooh.
And the neighbor he did it, the neighbor he did it for was like 5 of me, he just didn't know it because he didn't have a wrap truck in his driveway, and that's just, the problem is, and it's not just plumber, there's a lot of trades, there's a lot of people, there's people in general that they see somebody, they think, oh, I can make more off that person. That's not right. Price the job.
Yeah.
Price the job for this person just like you would anybody else.
We want to come back. That was was one question of, I've got a whole list here of that age 40 to 80 questions. So I want to get back to that, but just keep in mind, if you want to reach Damon Gettier, Damon Gettier will list your home. He's still got the 14-day guarantee when you list your home with Damon Gettier. If he doesn't get it under contract, he sells it for free. That's no commission. And you're still buying homes, so he'll make you a cash offer on your home. If you just inherited a home and you don't want to deal with the emotional aspects of dealing with it, Damon will take that off your hands. You got a tenant you need to get out? Yeah, you got a rental?
Yep.
Get a hold of Damon.
We don't get tenants out for you. We'll buy the house and take care of the tenant problem for you.
There you go. Go to listwithdamon.com. That's listwithdamon.com. And we are back. Welcome to Real Estate Radio with Damon Gettier of Damon Gettier and Associates Realtors, powered by Real. Are you still hiring right now? You still looking for agents?
Still hiring.
Still hiring. Can you still make six figures working for Damon Gettier?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, if you're interested in a new job and you train
daily.
You have to come from the real estate world to be in the real estate world, or can you come from another profession?
No. My top agents came bartender, insurance agent, Pepsi stocker, and bank teller. Top
Which,
four.
by the way, all four of those professions can be go-getter professions in their own right.
Yep.
So you can come from any profession if you want to work for Damon.
But none of them came from real estate.
Interesting. And those are your top people.
Top four. Yep.
Nice. So we were talking about homeowners between the ages of 40 and 80 in the last segment. So the questions usually shift away from the standard starter home worries and focus heavily on long-term wealth preservation, lifestyle design, and physical logistics. So I was asking Damon about the top critical question homeowners in this stage of life are asking. Question number 2 here is, how much capital gains tax will I own when I sell? Obviously, that's going to depend on, price of your home and what you bought it for, the cost basis. But
Correct. So let me preface this by ask your tax professional. That'd be my first thing.
Yeah.
My second thing.
Or your financial advisor.
Or financial advisor. And he's probably going to tell you to ask your tax professional.
Okay.
And that's just getting the onus off of anybody. But so the simple answer is this. If you have, and don't make it more complicated than this, if you've lived in the house for 2 of the previous 5 years, so during the previous 5 years, if at any point you lived in the house for 2 years, then for an individual person, $250,000 of net profit is not taxable. For a married couple, it's $500,000, $250,000 each.
So kind of an exemption in the
Yeah. Huh. And so when I say net, that's after commissions, after closing costs. So and people are like, well, I bought a house for $250 and I sold it for $525 and I'm going to pay capital gains. Probably not, because $255, you get to deduct the closing costs both sides. I mean, some of you're going to hand the forms to your tax preparer. They're going to do it. Yeah, and you take the closing costs off both sides, and then you're going to take the commission off, and then you're probably good to go. You won't pay any tax. And that's a single person. If it was 2 people, you'd have $500,000.
In a way, Damon Gettier and Associates Realtors is also kind of Damon Gettier financial advisors in a way. I mean, you got to kind of know your stuff, because you get asked these questions a lot, don't you?
You do. I was asked that one this week, and it's one of those things. We always preface it by ask your tax advisor, because every situation is different. But the rule is, it's funny, I was asked that like while we were sitting here. Someone said, hey, this person's going to wait till next year to sell. They won't pay capital gains. I'm like, well, if they lived there 2 of the last 5, they don't have to. And they bought it last May. So yes, they would have to. But then my question would be, well, how much did it appreciate? Because unless it appreciated enough, because you have closing costs and you have commission, whatever you sell, it still might not put you in that situation.
Yeah. And you're subtracting the amount that you bought it for, too.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. It says net profit.
Right.
So
question number 3, will moving disrupt my property tax benefit or freeze? I'm not sure if I know what that means. Will moving disrupt my property tax benefit or freeze? Oh, I got you.
I don't know the actual answer to that question. What it's talking about is certain income brackets. Once you retire, you can freeze your property tax.
Yeah.
So they don't keep going up and up and up like they do everywhere. I mean, everybody's property tax has doubled in the last 4 years, 5 years. I don't know what they do with that money, but it has doubled. It's funny because no schools have any money, but they double the taxes.
I know.
So I don't really know what they're doing with the tax.
Yeah.
I did the rough math 2 or 3 years ago, and I was having a conversation with the school board in Roanoke County. It was about $20 million that year they'd increased the tax base, but teachers weren't getting raises. So I was kind of perplexed by that. But anyway, so what happens is if you're retired and you hit a certain income bracket, they'll freeze your taxes, your property tax. They don't go up anymore.
Gotcha.
Okay. And so my assumption is going to be, and I don't really know this answer because I've never in 22 years been asked that question, but my assumption is going to be that if you move, then they might freeze it at whatever tax rate when you bought it, and it wouldn't go up. This is just an assumption, but it's not going I can promise you it's not going to go down to what you were paying.
That's kind of another ask your financial advisor or tax consultant.
It's probably ask your tax consultant and then ask the county also. It'd probably be a commissioner of the revenue. Like, when I buy this house, if I'm on limited funds, can I? What's going to happen?
Was it you or was it Brian Bowen I was talking to about Botetourt not wanting to build homes there?
I mean, he might also, but Botetourt.
Yeah, just because taxes will go up, because they'll build a school. And
let me tell you, I think I have a huge issue with the fact that you don't truly own your house. I have a huge issue with the fact that...
if you don't believe that, don't pay your taxes.
Yeah, don't pay your taxes and see what happens.
Find out.
They will take your house. Yeah. Like, I have a huge moral problem with the fact that you purchase a home, you pay off your home, you do everything right, and the government still wants you to write them a check every month for something that you owe. You do not own your home. Like, even when it is paid in full, you do not own your home.
Do not. Agreed. How will a new mortgage affect my retirement timeline or fixed income? These are a lot of financial type questions.
So this question, I would say, Brian, where are you at, buddy?
Yeah.
I'll have to bring, Brian brought me on his show one time. I have to bring him on my show one time because that is a Brian Bowen question. And in all honesty, if that's a legitimate concern of yours, probably shouldn't be buying.
That's a good point.
Yeah, no, I mean, if that's like, can I afford this? Can I retire? Can I? You should definitely be talking to your financial advisor 1,000%.
No doubt.
And I think most people, when they get to the real estate side, they've already had that conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, most of your listeners, I can virtually promise you, most of your listeners, by the time they call me, that part's already settled.
No doubt.
They already know what they can do. They've had that conversation. They're not going to say, hey, let's look at houses. And I don't know if we can afford it or not because I don't know because we're retired. That conversation doesn't happen.
They know the answer to that already.
They know the answer to that.
Yeah. So whether upsizing to a luxury property or buying a smaller condo, taking on new debt at the age 55 or 70 requires a different strategy than it did at 30. They want to know if paying cash or taking a shorter term mortgage aligns better with their wealth preservation goals. Let's talk about future proofing and lifestyle design, Damon. Is this layout practical for aging in place, or will I have to move again in 10 years?
Okay. So if you're seeking retirement, thinking retirement, or you're saying this is the last house I'm ever going to buy, you need to be able to have the capability of existing on one level. Because mobility, for the most part, mobility will become an issue with everyone at some point.
That's a great point.
And, fortunately, we're in Roanoke, and in this market, Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, whatever, there's an abundance of ranch-style homes. And you've heard me say this before, like a ranch-style house, and most of ours have basements, but just because I have a basement with the laundry, like if you have a ranch-style house, you can make it adequate, good, great for retirement no matter what. Because, if the utilities are downstairs, all you got to do is move them upstairs.
Yeah.
I mean, I had this conversation with
that can happen. You can do that.
Oh, man, one of my agents.
It costs a little bit.
And it costs virtually nothing. My next door neighbor, love him to death, like grandfather to my kids almost. He's 75 and he has some health issues. And I'm like, why don't we move that laundry upstairs? And he didn't want to because he didn't want to say I'm old.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Is why he
Pride.
doesn't want to.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's really pride as much as admitting. I mean, this is a guy who used to play 250 days of golf a year, every year until like last May.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those things, not admitting that I needed to come upstairs. But I mean, all it is, anybody listening, and I want to sell houses. I want to sell your house. I want to sell your house, sell your new house. But if you think about aging in place, any ranch, all you got to do is, 2 water lines, hot and cold, a drain, and then moving 220 up. Virtually any handyman could do that in 3 hours, 4 hours. If your basement's finished, it's going to cost a little more. But if your basement's not finished, any handyman could do that if they really stunk, they could do it in 3 or 4 hours. It's not that difficult.
Yeah.
And so now you went from a dingy laundry room in a basement with cobwebs to a really nice hardwood floor laundry room upstairs right across from your bedroom. I don't know why more people don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and hold on, but people are saying, well, what happens when I pass and leave it to my kids? Who cares? They didn't buy you a house.
Yeah.
If they bought you a house to live in, then care, but they didn't buy your house. You bought it for you. You're still going to pass something to them that they didn't pay for. So don't worry about it.
They can design it to fit them.
Yeah, they're not. They're going to sell it. But
Yeah.
when they call me to sell it, I'm like, hey, let's do this. Let's take out the laundry and put it back downstairs. And my hardwood guy, he can, same one you use, Lanny or Tom, they'll sit there and put little plugs in the hardwood, refinish them until they're done. It's so simple.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what's going to happen when you're gone. Worry about what's happening while you're here.
Yeah, and this to your point, it says even if they feel incredibly active today. As you just said, homeowners in this bracket are thinking ahead. They're looking for universal design features. As you just said, main floor primary suites, 0-step entries, which you pretty much get a ramp anywhere, right?
You get a ramp, yeah.
Yeah. Wide doorways and walk-in showers. So
Easy peasy.
fit it. Just outfit it.
I mean, my buddy Randall, Portable Measures, I mean, he'll put in a no-step shower in a day and a half, 2 days.
Will you tell Randall to call me? I've been trying to get him up to get a quote for my drywall.
Text him right now.
I left him a message and went, hey, dude, if you can't do it, just let me know. I mean, there's other people. I got to get a quote for this insurance company for this.
Hold on a second.
All right.
Randall, I'm on the air with Brett right now, and he needs you to call him after I get off the air. Period. Okay.
All right.
Done.
So if you need something done, get a hold of Damon. Damon knows how to take care of all of this stuff. If you don't want to deal with what do you call it? Upfitting?
Yep.
House fitting. Damon will just make you cash offer for it. He'll take care of it for you. Go to listwithdamon.com. That's listwithdamon, DAMON.com. Welcome back to Real Estate Radio with Damon Gettier of Damon Gettier and Associates Realtors. Doesn't time fly when you're with me, just having a good time? Hard to believe that the show's almost over. We've been talking about questions for, the 30 to 80-year-old person, not the first-time home buyer, but people who have owned their home for a while. Some may be approaching retirement, whatever the case. But these are some of the top questions asked by that life group. Damon, how about this one? Do you get this one? How much is my current home honestly worth in today's market? I feel like we talk about that almost every show, but that's a pretty common question, isn't it?
It is. It's a common question, and it hadn't changed much lately. But I would tell everybody that your house is worth what a bank is willing to lend and a buyer is willing to pay.
Yeah.
And so how we ascertain that is looking at comparable sales. But since you bring it up, let's talk about it for a second, because we do talk about it, and then we get our team currently has a client, and they're looking for a deal on a nice house, which I can understand that. I could understand that thought process. Really hard to find.
Yeah, just deals in general right now.
Deals in general are hard to find, okay? Deals on nice houses are kind of impossible to find. And so, they're looking at houses.
They're going to sell with or without you.
Yeah, they're looking for houses in the $500,000 to $600,000 range, and they're making offers that are 90 to 150 off. And they're somewhat offended that they're not getting counter offers and somewhat offended that they're not getting contracts. Nobody's going to buy it. Number one, if it's $500,000 house and it's in good condition and they're selling it for 150 off, I'm buying it.
Yeah.
And about 50 other investors in town are buying it.
But that doesn't happen in the real world.
It doesn't happen in the real world. The only way that would happen is if we were in a buyer's market where we have abundance of listings and no buyers. Yeah, abundance of listings and no buyers. And then you have a lot of inventory sitting, but it's not happening in this market. And so don't set yourself up for failure. Like if that's what you really want to do, probably shouldn't even be in the market because you're not going to get a deal on a nice house.
Yeah. If there are deals, you would know about them just because you've got the database to kind of prove it.
Yeah. I mean, I've got the database, but there's 1,400 realtors here. I'd say about 100, 150, maybe 200 are hardcore. They're going to spot that deal before you do.
Yeah.
They just are. And
they probably have access to that deal before anybody else.
They have access to it before you do. It's going to get sopped up. That's one of the benefits of being in the business.
Yeah.
That deal is not going to hit the street.
So the moral of the story is you can ask for a good, hey, do you have any good deals? But we're going to give you the best deal we can get you, but you got to manage those expectations.
You do. So this is what I would say. If you're going to, and there's two different things when you're buying a house to invest and buying a house to live in. Two different things. You buy a house to invest, you look at the numbers. It's number driven. Okay. And so it's not going to be in the best shape. It's not going to be in the best condition. And you pay for it accordingly. And then you put money into it to accommodate and bring it up to standard. If you're buying a house to live in, somebody told me this a long time ago and it's just stuck with me. It's just find a house you like and pay for it like you like it. But don't find a house you like and then pay for it like you hate it because you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
And like you're setting yourself up for failure. And then some people are so numbers driven that they want a certain amount off list no matter what. And they'll put offers on houses they don't like, but they'll make an offer so what's going to happen if you get it? Like if you accidentally finally get it, what are you going to do? Because you don't like the house. And so, find a house you like, pay for it like you like it. I'm not saying overpay. I'm saying find a house you like and pay for it like you like.
Yeah, I think we, this was a different time when you sold us the house that we're in now. But what we bought it for and what it's worth now, it's almost doubled in price. I mean, they're going to appreciate.
They should appreciate. I mean, and everybody's heard since before I was born, it's location, location, location. And so you buy a house in the right location and it should appreciate, I mean, it's just people looking for deals, wrong time.
Yeah. How about this question? What updates should I make to my current house before selling to get the highest return? I think that's a good question because we talked about that before. You were like, if it needs a roof, put a roof on it. Don't expect to get more money because it has a roof. Everybody needs a roof. Had a roof to begin with when you bought it.
Yeah, exactly. Mainly what I would tell anyone to do is do stuff with cleanliness, clean the house, declutter the house, cut the yard, keep the yard cut. Right now, you don't have to worry about water the yard so it's green.
Yep.
Trim the bushes, put down fresh mulch, paint your threshold, the thing you walk across when you walk in, clean your front door, clean the front windows, clean all the windows. Fresh coat of paint inside will almost always help. And that's about it. I would not go replacing kitchens. You've heard me say for years, when you replace the kitchen, when you buy it, not when you sell it, because you're not going to get, if you put a $40,000 kitchen, if you go into North Lake, Southwest County, put a $40,000 kitchen into a house, you're not getting $40,000 back out of it because you did it.
Yeah.
You're just not. So do it when you want it, do it when you need it, not when you sell it.
How about this question? How do I find a real estate agent who specializes in transitions, not just transactions?
Call Damon Gettier and Associates Realtors.
Pretty quick and to the point, pretty concise.
Yep.
Because your people are trained for any situation.
They are trained, but we also, I harp on them. We train every week, but every Tuesday we have a sales meeting. And virtually every sales meeting, we go over the fact that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Like, if you don't care about the person you're doing business with, get out of the business. Like you and I had a conversation months ago, and you were talking about maybe you should get your real estate license. You say, sell houses on the side. And I told you, I'm like, if you don't, why would you do it? You say to make money. I'm like, bad reason.
Yeah, wrong reason to get in.
Yeah, wrong reason. The reason you should get in is because you want to help people. And if you help enough people get what they want, then you'll get what you want.
I've changed my stance on that. Now I want to get my real estate license and come to work for you to help people.
Then you should get your real estate license. I'm okay with the byproduct. It should be.
I know. I know you're serious.
Anything you're good at that you help people, you should get paid. I'm not saying you should get paid all the money off one person. I mean, nobody should screw somebody over, but if you make money, like I've got agents that make really good money and they help a lot of people. And so they should make money.
I got one last question here, dude. It says, if I upsize to my dream home, what's my long-term exit strategy? And there's more here. It says, for those buying a larger, more luxurious estate later in life, they're thinking about legacy. They want to know how the property fits into their estate planning trust and how easy it'll be for their heirs to manage or sell down the road. What would you advise those people?
Brian?
Oh, yeah.
This is what I would say. I would say control what you can control. Most fortunes, I think, are lost in the first generation after. It's unfortunate, but it's true.
Because the next generation doesn't know how to manage money or manage property like you do? Or?
They don't know how to manage it. They don't appreciate it. They didn't build it. You know that most of what I do now is so that my children have something to inherit so they don't have to live and grow up like I grew up and lived. Because I grew up really poor and I don't want them to. But the only way for them to know that and experience it and appreciate it is to grow up really poor. It is they can't see it. You can't teach it. You can't tell them unless they lived it. They'll never know.
Yeah.
And so what I would say would be to get with someone that does estate planning, get with someone that does, planning for after you're not here. Try to put the structure in place to protect it, but realize that once you're gone, you're gone.
You and I have been friends for 20 years, 15 years, whatever. The thing that has always interested me about you is you grew up poor. Most people who grow up poor covet the things that they acquire. They don't want to let them out of their sight. You're a pretty generous dude. And I've said this on the radio before. All the nice things I own, I attribute to Damon Gettier. I mean, my nice tractor, my Polaris Ranger, my tilt deck trailer. I mean, you were generous and I know you are upgrading and buying, and you're constantly buying and trading stuff, but you still have a generous nature. What's that come from? People that don't know you think you've got a hard exterior. I know you, Joker, and there's a lot more to Damon Gettier than what meets the eye.
It frustrates Allie sometimes. We actually got an argument.
That's his wife, by the way.
It's my wife, yeah. We actually got an argument a couple weeks ago because I told her, I said, I'm not greedy. And she said, well, maybe you should be a little more greedy. And it's not me. One, it's not me. Two, Brian Mason, friend of ours.
Yeah.
And 10, 12, 15 years ago, he gave me a book, which is the Go Giver book. I don't know if you've ever read it or not. If you haven't read it, you should read it. Very simple read, very good read. Anybody that's listening to this should go read the book. Very simple read. And I don't do this for this, but this is the result. You have to give to get. And if you don't give, you don't get.
Yeah.
And the person that tries to hold everything, control everything, it's like when we talk about my companies, you've asked, how do you do that? Because I have good people. I hire good people and put them in charge and just let them go, let them do their thing, and I don't get in their way. I'm there to manage, I'm there to help run the company, but I don't get in their way. You have to give to get. The world is circular. When we hear about karma, you hear about, what goes around comes around, and all those things are for a reason. And the reason,
don't do it for that reason.
No, don't do it for that reason. Do it
because you're not greedy.
Do it don't be greedy. Don't be selfish. And if you give, you get. And if you don't give, I don't think you get.
Yeah.
And so that's always been who I am. And I just don't want to change that part of me.
Peeling back that onion, man. Damon Gettier. I highly recommend you do your business with Damon Gettier. Wouldn't think of using anyone else for anything real estate related. Go to listwithdamon.com for the number. That's listwithdamon, DAMON.com.